On the morning the city forgot her birthday, the girl woke beneath a bridge that hummed with traffic like a restless ocean, the cold concrete pressing truth into her bones as if to remind her she was real even when no one else seemed to notice, and she counted her breaths because counting was safer than hoping, safer than remembering the cake her mother once promised she would bake next year before the sickness took her away, safer than thinking about how turning 11 meant nothing if you had nowhere to belong. She tied her frayed shoelaces, brushed dust from her thin yellow shirt, and whispered a wish to the river that ran below the bridge, not for food, not for money, not even for a bed, but for a sign that kindness still existed, that the world had room for someone like her. Then she stepped into the morning crowd where suits rushed past with phones glued to their ears and umbrellas bloomed like steel flowers, and it was there, beside a cafe that smelled of warm bread and promises, that she saw the wallet lying open on the wet pavement, leather dark and heavy, cards peeking out like secrets begging to be kept, and for a moment hunger clawed at her stomach so hard she almost cried because she knew what that wallet could change, how it could buy 1,000 birthdays, how it could erase a year of sleeping in shadows, but she remembered her mother's voice telling her that who you are is what you do when no one is watching, so she picked it up carefully, counted nothing, took nothing, and instead searched for a name. Across town, the billionaire who owned that wallet was discovering its absence like a sudden missing tooth, his assistant babbling apologies while he stared at the skyline he owned in pieces yet could not hold, because lately nothing stayed, his marriage, his joy, his belief that success could substitute for love, and when he cancelled meetings to retrace his steps, fate bent quietly. The girl waited by the cafe door for hours, clutching the wallet to her chest as rain slicked her hair and passers-by judged her with quick glances, until a man finally stopped, tall, tired, wearing a coat that cost more than the bridge she slept under, and when she held the wallet out with trembling hands and said, "Sir, is this yours?" the words cut through him sharper than any loss he'd ever measured on a balance sheet, because he saw her then, not a problem to be solved, not a charity case, but a child with brave eyes choosing honesty on a day the world had given her nothing, and as he opened the wallet to confirm his name, a folded paper slipped out, a receipt from a bakery dated years ago with a note he'd written to himself on the back after his daughter was born, a promise he had broken 1,000 times, be present, and the girl watched his face crumble as tears surprised him, because she asked softly if she could make a birthday wish before he left, and when he nodded, confused, she closed her eyes and wished out loud that whoever owned the wallet would remember the people he loved and help someone who needed it more than him, not her, someone else, and in that moment the billionaire felt smaller than the bridge and lighter than the rain, because her wish asked nothing for herself, and he knelt there on the sidewalk, ignoring the cameras that would have loved him for it, and asked her name, listened as she told him about her mother and the bridge and the counting of breaths, and when he offered her money she shook her head, saying she didn't want to lose who she was on her birthday, and that broke him open completely. Instead he offered a hand, not a transaction, a chance to be safe today and tomorrow, and she took it carefully, the way you take a promise you've learned not to trust, and as they walked into the cafe together the city slowed just enough to feel human again, and the man who owned towers realized that the greatest return he would ever see came from a girl who owned nothing but integrity. And if this story touched you, if it reminded you that goodness still breathes in quiet choices, then stay with us, subscribe to the channel, because every story we share is a candle against the dark, and the next one might just change how you see the world tomorrow.